The arts of the 19th century in Europe. The arts in Europe during the 19th century can be categorized into three distinct periods. The first period spans from the late 18th century to approximately 1850. It is characterized by the dominance of the Romantic movement and one of its manifestations, Neoclassicism. The second period includes the years between 1850 and 1886, during which the movements of Realism and Impressionism emerged and flourished. The third period covers the final 15 years of the 19th century. It witnessed the rise of movements such as Neo-Impressionism, Symbolism, and Art Nouveau, introducing a new pluralism in artistic expression. Romanticism. Romanticism emerged as a philosophical and literary movement in response to the intellectual environment dominated by Enlightenment ideals and classical traditions during the 18th century. It sought to celebrate individual freedom and placed great importance on the supremacy of the ego. Additionally, it expressed the boundless possibilities of dreams, imagination, and emotions. The movement created a nostalgia for the past and brought to light elements of the history of mankind contained in mythology, legends, and ancient cultures. In art, Romanticism was not expressed in a single style. The emphasis was on freedom of expression. As a result, it included both modernist elements and reminiscence of earlier periods. For instance, artists explored and studied diverse artistic styles from various eras, such as the Roman and Gothic art, Michelangelo's paintings, the art of Mannerism, and the Baroque era. At the same time, they were also interested in the heritage of ancient Greece and Rome. So, within the broader context of the Romantic spirit, a development known as Neoclassicism emerged. Romanticism, as an artistic movement, flourished across several European countries, each producing notable artists. In Spain, the foremost exponent of this movement was Francisco de Goya. In England, with the rise of Romanticism in the late 18th century, the artists started to get interested in the landscape painting. England became the center of landscape painting, where two prominent painters stand out, Joseph Mallard, William Turner, and John Constable. Meanwhile, in France, the painting of the Romantic era drew inspiration from Venetian painters, Rubens, Michelangelo's art, as well as the English landscape painters Constable and Turner. Theodore Géricault and Eugène Delacroix are the most important representatives of this period. Romanticism in Spain. Francisco José de Goya y Lucientes. Francisco José de Goya y Lucientes, 1746–1828, was a Spanish painter often referred to as one of the most important artists in the transition from the 18th century Rococo style to the 19th century Romanticism. He is renowned for his diverse range of works, which include portraits, historical scenes, religious and social themes. Born in Fuentellados in Aragon, Goya went to Zaragoza, where he studied under the guidance of José Luzán Martínez, a renowned Baroque painter. Later, he relocated to Madrid, where he became a student of Anton Raphael Mengs, a famous German painter associated with the Rococo era. Goya's talent and skill earned him the esteemed position of prime court painter to the royal Spanish family. During this time, he produced numerous paintings portraying members of the royalty and the aristocracy of the Spanish court. Goya created between 1810 and 1820 a series of etchings titled The Disasters of War, depicted the horrors of the Peninsular War and the Napoleonic occupation of Spain. These powerful images showcase the brutality of the conflict and the suffering of the innocent. Toward the end of his life, Goya's style became more introspective and experimental. He created a series of etchings and paintings collectively known as the Black Paintings. Within these pieces, Goya explored themes revolving around mental asylums, individuals afflicted by insanity, freakish creatures, as well as religious and political scenes, reflecting his own fragile mental state. These dark and haunting works include pieces like Saturn devouring his son and Witch's Sabbath. Goya studied the artworks of great painters such as Greco, Velázquez, and Rembrandt. Notably, he became recognized as the first painter of his era to incorporate various characteristics associated with the artistic developments of the 19th and 20th centuries. Goya's unique approach to capturing the human experience, both its light and dark aspects, influenced subsequent generations of esteemed artists, including Gustave Courbet, Edouard Manet, and even Picasso and Salvador Dali. Francisco Goya. Saint Joseph's Dream. The Museum of Arts in Zaragoza houses a remarkable painting created in 1771. The painting was part of a series of 7 scenes commissioned by the Duke of Sobradil in Saragossa specifically for his private chapel. The focal point of the artwork is the Archangel Gabriel, positioned at the center, delivering a profound message to Joseph regarding the mystery of the Immaculate Conception. Goya's portrayal of Gabriel's face exhibits a remarkable blend of simplicity and tenderness. In a state of deep sleep, Joseph envisions an angel, beautifully captured by Goya through skillful play of light and shadow. Notably, the composition displays Goya's extraordinary artistry, particularly evident in the interplay between light and dark. Joseph's overcoat gives the impression that it is entirely made of luminous light. The overall atmosphere of the painting is one of quiet anticipation and mystery. Goya masterfully contrasts the angel's celestial light with a dimly lit interior, creating a dramatic play of light and shadow. The painting draws inspiration from 16th and 17th century Italian and French painters, particularly those associated with the Baroque era. Francisco Goya. The Washerwomen. The Prado Museum in Madrid houses a painting created between 1779 and 1780. The Washerwomen is part of a series of tapestry commissioned by the Spanish royal family for the decoration of the Royal Palace of El Prado near Madrid. It portrays a scene of washerwomen finding respite after their arduous work. In the artwork, we can observe 2 women leaning on each other, tenderly caressing a sheep. This depiction of serenity aligns with the typical style found in Rococo paintings. The women's rosy cheeks stand in stark contrast to the pallor of the rest of their skin. Their hair is elegantly pulled back, while their attire, consisting of scarves, vests, and dresses, is adorned with vibrant colors that amplify the joyful atmosphere of the scene. The painting captures a sense of realism and provides a glimpse into the lives of ordinary working-class women during that era. In the background, the lush greenery provides a tonal contrast against the blue sky, and as the sun rises from the mountains, its rays illuminate the entire composition. Goya's choice of subject matter reflects his interest in capturing the realities of Spanish society, particularly the working class. Through his art, he sought to shed light on the experiences and struggles of ordinary people, often addressing social and political issues of his time. Francisco Goya. The 3rd of May 1808. Created in 1814, the 3rd of May stands proudly within the Prado Museum in Madrid. The painting depicts the brutal execution of Spanish civilians by French soldiers during the Peninsular War. The Peninsular War was a conflict that took place from 1807 to 1814, during which Napoleon Bonaparte's French forces invaded and occupied Spain. The painting specifically portrays the events of May 3, 1808, when the French army carried out a mass execution of Spanish citizens in retaliation for an uprising against their rule in Madrid. Noteworthy for its time, this masterpiece heralds a new era in art, pioneering a distinct artistic conception. Unprecedentedly, the painter presents the defeated in the same way as the victors. These innocent individuals, who were captured by chance and executed without due process, are now acknowledged as witnesses to the harrowing event. At the center of the painting, a man stands with his arms outstretched, reminiscent of Christ on the cross, casting an innocent gaze upon his executioners. The central figure, bathed in a bright, almost divine light, captivates the viewer with his luminous white shirt, symbolizing his innocence, while his yellow pants are illuminated by the radiant glow of a lantern nearby. Surrounding him are other victims, both dead and dying, sprawled across the ground. The executioners themselves appear mechanical, entirely detached from the suffering of their victims. Goya's masterful use of light and shadow, along with his bold brushwork, contributes to the emotional impact of the painting. The artist captures the horror and anguish of the event, highlighting the individual suffering and collective tragedy that war inflicts upon innocent people. The 3rd of May 1808 is often considered a testament to the brutality of war and a condemnation of violence and oppression. Intense emotions, the anguish of the condemned, expressions of despair, the evocative nocturnal lighting, and vibrant colors, all these elements embody the characteristics of Baroque art. Within this composition, they flawlessly harmonize with the aspirations of Romanticism in painting, creating a captivating union of styles. Francisco Goya. Saturn devouring his son. This painting is part of his Black Painting series, created between 1819 and 1823 and currently resides in the Prado Museum in Madrid. Goya created this series of dark and disturbing paintings on the walls of his own house, known as the Quinta del Sordo. The black paintings are considered to be intensely personal and reveal Goya's inner turmoil and pessimism, possibly reflecting his own physical and mental decline during that period. The painting depicts the mythological titan Saturn, or Cronus in Greek mythology, devouring one of his own children. Saturn is portrayed with a disproportionately small head compared to his body, depicted in the act of devouring one of his sons with an open mouth. Interestingly, the depiction shows the body of an older man, diverging from the legend where Saturn consumed his children as infants. Furthermore, the figure's curves may even hint at a female form. The painter's intended message behind this work remains unknown. This painting is often interpreted as a representation of the destructive forces of time and the artist's response to the violence and upheaval of his era, including the Napoleonic Wars and political instability in Spain. What stands out is the painting's striking similarity in color palette to the 3rd of May, 1808. Both artworks feature dark backgrounds, vibrant colors, bold contrasts, and emotional intensity that draw the viewer's attention to the central composition. Additionally, they share the characteristic of utilizing broad and fluid layers of color. Goya's scary depiction of Saturn is recognized as an early example of Expressionism. Francisco Goya. Mars on the Balcony. The painting, housed in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, was created between 1810 and 1815. It depicts two young women, positioned prominently in the foreground and staring with an intense gaze at the viewer. The painter's exceptional skill is evident in the portrayal of the radiant glow coming from the silk fabrics and jewelry adorning the young women, referring to the artistic styles of renowned masters such as Tiziano and Velázquez. Mars on the Balcony is often praised for its composition and Goya's mastery in capturing the play of light and shadow. The scene is bathed in soft, natural light, creating a harmonious atmosphere. Goya's brushwork and attention to detail bring out the textures of the fabrics and the intricate patterns of the women's clothing. In the background, set against a dark canvas, we observe two ominous male figures, exuding an air of suspicion and threat. Their presence bears resemblance to the soldiers of Napoleon, who had invaded Spain and tried to gain control over Madrid during that period. Despite the turmoil, Goya refused to leave and remained in Madrid throughout the war. During this time, he embarked on the creation of a series of prints, totaling approximately 82, known as the Disasters of War. These prints vividly depicted the atrocities and horrors of the war. Francisco Goya. Self-portrait with Dr. Arrieta. The painting was made in 1820 and it currently resides at the Minneapolis Institute of Art in Minnesota. Regarded as one of the artist's most intimate and poignant pieces, it captivates viewers with its portrayal of two central figures. In this artwork, Goya pays tribute to his doctor and friend, Eugenio Garcia Arrieta, who played a significant role in saving the artist's life during a critical illness. The painting serves as an expression of Goya's deep gratitude towards Dr. Arrieta for his medical expertise and care. In the foreground, we witness Goya's poignant struggle for survival as he clutches the bedsheets tightly with his hands. Goya's depiction portrays Dr. Arrieta in a compassionate and attentive manner. The doctor is shown attending to the artist, reflecting his role as a savior and symbolizing the healing power of medicine. Goya's attention to detail in portraying Dr. Arrieta's caring nature creates a striking contrast with the artist's own pale and sickly appearance. The painting showcases Goya's ability to capture human emotion and his skill in conveying gratitude through his art. In the dark background, some repulsive forms emerge, possibly symbolizing the ominous presence of death. Francisco Goya. The Parasol. The artwork, created in 1777, currently resides within the Prado Museum located in Madrid. The captivating painting portrays a youthful lady seated on the ground, likely taking a moment's rest following a leisurely stroll. Her dress is adorned with vibrant hues that are further enhanced by the sun's gentle beams. With her right hand, she delicately holds a fan, while in her arms rests a small dog. Behind her, a young man stands, shielding the girl's face from the sun's rays with a parasol. Clad in vibrant garments influenced by the Majo style, his attire signifies his belonging to a lower social class and reflects a folkloric way of life, characteristic of the Romantic era. The background reveals a picturesque landscape with billowing clouds in the sky and rustling trees, potentially foretelling an impending thunderstorm. The composition is filled with an array of luminous and subdued colors, reminiscent of the radiant and joyful artistry found within Rococo paintings. What makes this painting particularly notable is Goya's composition and use of light. The parasol serves as a focal point, casting a shadow on the woman's face and creating a contrast between light and dark. The interplay of light and shadow adds a sense of drama and depth to the scene, enhancing the overall visual impact. The parasol reflects Goya's ability to depict a moment of leisure while also hinting at themes of social class. Joseph Mallard William Turner. Joseph Mallard William Turner 1775–1851, also known as William Turner, was an esteemed English painter, watercolorist, and printmaker. Born in London, he received his education at the prestigious Royal Academy of Arts. Turner drew inspiration from renowned Dutch seascape painters like Nicolas Poussin and French landscape painter Claude Lorraine, whose works had a profound impact on his artistic style. Notably, Turner employed a vibrant and vivid color palette in his depictions of landscapes and seascapes. This use of bright and intense hues added a striking and captivating quality to his paintings. Throughout his career, Turner was a master of capturing the effects of light and the transient qualities of nature in his paintings. His landscapes often feature dramatic and atmospheric elements, including stormy skies, sunsets, and turbulent seas. Through his artworks, Turner skillfully conveyed the core elements of the Romantic movement. His compositions often showcased the dramatic and awe-inspiring grandeur that characterizes the natural world, while also illustrating the devastating effects it could impose on human existence. Turner's style evolved over time, moving away from the detailed realism of his early works to a more abstract and impressionistic approach. He embraced a looser brushwork and a greater emphasis on the interplay of light and shadow, often using vibrant and unconventional color palettes. Turner paved the way for the Impressionist movement and later developments in art by emphasizing the importance of capturing light and atmosphere over strict representation. Joseph Mallard William Turner. Snowstorm, Steamboat Off a Harbor's Mouth. Painted in 1842, this particular artwork is currently housed at the Tate Gallery in London. The composition depicts a turbulent scene where the steamboat struggles to remain discernible amidst the raging storm. The ship's presence is barely visible through the waving flag and its brave battle against the surging waves and the snowstorm. The arrangement of elements effectively communicates the viewer's perception of the wind's sheer force and the formidable nature of the waves. The composition is characterized by swirling brush strokes and a dynamic arrangement of elements, creating a sense of movement and energy. Turner achieves this effect by utilizing contrasting colors and tones, with the ship's presence hinted at through a waving flag and subtle indications of its structure. This intentional obscurity adds to the overall atmosphere of mystery and danger. The portrayal of such an ominous and frightening storm draws parallels to the evocative nature of a romantic poem or a piece of music. For the artist, nature serves as a reflective medium, capable of expressing and embodying human emotions. In the face of the elements' immense power, one cannot help but feel insignificant and vulnerable, perpetually aware of their own smallness. Joseph Mallard William Turner. Snowstorm, Hannibal and his army crossing the Alps. The artwork, Housed at the Tate Gallery in London, dates back to 1812. It depicts an historic event of Hannibal's army attempting to cross the perilous Alps in 218 BC. Turner's composition showcases the dramatic and chaotic nature of the journey. In the painting, viewers can observe a swirling snowstorm, powerful winds, and menacing dark clouds. The elements of nature are depicted with great intensity, conveying the harsh and challenging conditions faced by Hannibal and his troops. Within the composition, we witness a formation of black clouds resembling an arch, suspended above the soldiers. Amidst the storm's center, a radiant sun illuminates the Italian plains. In the foreground, the soldiers engage in combat with local tribes, although the figure of Hannibal remains indistinguishable. During the era of the Napoleonic Wars, Turner conceived this masterpiece, drawing a parallel between Hannibal and Napoleon, both conquerors who ventured across the Alps. By highlighting the connection, Turner reflects upon the determination and resilience exhibited by both Hannibal and Napoleon Bonaparte, who famously led his own army across the Alps. The painting showcases Turner's mastery of capturing atmospheric effects and his experimental use of light. Through skillful brushwork and vivid colors, he creates a sense of movement and turmoil. The artwork depicts swirling winds, rainfall, and snowfall, interspersed with intermittent patches of light amidst the dark clouds. These innovative explorations of light and nature by Turner left a profound impact on the movements of Impressionism and Post-Impressionism. John Constable. John Constable, 1776 to 1837, was an English Romantic painter known for his landscape paintings that depicted the natural beauty of the English countryside. He is often regarded as one of the greatest landscape painters in the history of art. Born in Suffolk, he found immense inspiration in the scenic countryside of his hometown. Constable's deep connection to the rural landscapes of England is evident in his work. He sought to capture the changing moods of nature, often focusing on scenes depicting the rural life and countryside of Suffolk and the surrounding areas. While Constable held deep admiration for earlier painters, he aimed to portray the world as he observed it firsthand. His dedication to plein air painting, working outdoors, allowed him to observe and capture the nuances of light, atmosphere, and natural effects, before returning to his studio for further refinement. This approach allowed him to capture the authenticity and essence of the natural world. Constable's artistic methods and dedication to portraying his surroundings truthfully had a profound impact on the Barbizon school in France. The artists of this movement adopted his approach of working directly from nature, which became a cornerstone of their artistic philosophy. Furthermore, Constable's techniques also played a pivotal role in inspiring the movement of realism in painting, which sought to depict reality with uncompromising accuracy. Constable's work also had a profound impact on the Impressionists, who were drawn to his emphasis on light and atmosphere. With his unique vision and persistence to capturing the beauty of the natural world, John Constable established himself as a prominent figure of landscape painting, leaving a lasting influence on subsequent generations of artists. John Constable. The Hay Wain. Painted in 1821, this masterpiece currently resides in the National Gallery of London, representing one of the artist's most renowned works. The painting depicts a serene rural scene, featuring a horse-drawn cart, known as a wain, laden with hay, crossing a shallow river. The composition showcases the tranquil countryside, with a charming cottage nestled amidst lush greenery and trees. The artwork beautifully captures the play of sunlight across the meadows, as passing clouds cast shifting shadows. The river meanders peacefully, occasionally reflecting the vibrant blue of the sky or the subtle shades of surrounding foliage. Notably, the painting achieves a remarkable balance, faithfully portraying the tranquility of the landscape without embellishment or dramatic effect. The artist's focus is on capturing the true essence of nature without idealizing or romanticizing it. The painting presents an honest depiction of the landscape, reflecting Constable's dedication to realism and his desire to portray the everyday beauty found in his surroundings. With its understated charm and faithful rendering, this artwork captivates viewers, offering an invitation to experience the serenity and simplicity of the natural world in its real form. It is a sincere depiction of nature. William Blake. William Blake, 1757–1827, was a Romantic English poet, painter, and printmaker, known for his unique artistic style and visionary works that combined poetry and visual art. Blake was born in London, England, and showed an early interest in art. He attended drawing schools and was apprenticed to an engraver, which contributed to his mastery of various artistic techniques. Blake's work is characterized by its visionary and often mystical themes. He claimed to have vivid visions from a young age, and these experiences greatly influenced his artistic and philosophical perspectives. He believed in the importance of imagination and spirituality in both art and life. Blake combined his own handwritten texts with intricate illustrations, creating a unique fusion of visual and textual elements in his books. His works often explore the tension between the material and spiritual worlds. The artist was critical of organized religion and often expressed his own personal interpretations of Christianity. His work contains elements of mysticism, mythology, and his own unique cosmology. William Blake. The Ancient of Days. This artwork, dating back to 1794, can be found in the British Museum in London. It is a visionary illustration that holds significant symbolic meaning. The painting serves as the cover for a book titled Europe, a Prophecy. The cover portrays a bearded, muscular figure enclosed within a radiant circle of light, evoking parallels to Michelangelo's depiction of God in the Sistine Chapel. The artwork embodies Blake's unique spiritual and philosophical beliefs. In contrast to common perception, the figure depicted in The Ancient of Days by William Blake is not actually intended to represent God, but rather Blake's own mythical creation named Urizen, who takes on the form of a deity. Urizen is a complex character in Blake's imaginative mythological system. In the hands of this mythical deity, there appears to be a colossal caliper, reminiscent of medieval portrayals of the Lord as the architect of the universe. Urizen is often characterized as a deity or force that embodies aspects of reason, law, and rationality to an extreme degree. In Blake's mythos, Urizen becomes a symbol of limitation, control, and the tyranny of conventional thought. This interpretation aligns with the idea of God as a restrictive or even malevolent force that suppresses creativity and freedom. It is said that Blake, perceiving the world as inherently wicked, envisioned his creator as a malevolent demon. It is this perspective that gives rise to the enigmatic and nightmarish qualities of the artwork, where the caliper resembles a thunderbolt amidst a stormy, dark night. So, in The Ancient of Days, Blake isn't portraying a traditional image of God but is instead presenting his own imaginative rendition of a deity-like figure that symbolizes the constraining and often oppressive nature of certain aspects of divinity and human thought. Theodore Géricault. Theodore Géricault, 1791–1824, was a prominent French painter and lithographer, who has had a significant impact on the painters of his era. Géricault is best known for his contributions to the Romantic movement in art. The artist possessed a remarkable talent for blending the meticulous observation of reality in his artworks. Géricault's art often focused on social themes of human suffering and injustice. He had a keen eye for capturing the raw emotions and struggles of people, particularly those from the oppressed parts of society. Géricault's works often conveyed a sense of empathy and sympathy for the underprivileged. Undoubtedly, his creations showcase an unparalleled fusion of realism and emotion. Among his most renowned masterpieces stands The Raft of the Medusa. This monumental composition, created when Géricault was only 27 years old, depicts the aftermath of a shipwreck and the desperate struggle of the passengers for survival. It is considered a prominent piece in the history of French Romanticism. Although Géricault died at the young age of 32, he left behind a lasting legacy of artworks, which inspired generations of artists. Theodore Géricault. The Raft of the Medusa. The artwork, currently housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris, was created between 1818 and 1819. Its subject revolves around a maritime disaster and shipwreck. Specifically, it portrays the ill-fated journey of the frigate Medusa, which was responsible for transporting settlers to Senegal and tragically sank in June 1816. The incident involved a total of 149 passengers who were crammed onto a raft, initially intended to be towed by officers' boats. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, the rope connecting the raft was cut off, leaving it adrift at sea. In the end, only 15 individuals were rescued by another frigate, while the remaining passengers succumbed to suffering and thirst. The ramifications of this tragedy extended beyond the realm of human suffering, as it highlighted the political implications associated with the captain's appointment, which was attributed to his connections with the kingdom. Moreover, it became evident that the ship had been overloaded, further contributing to the disastrous outcome. To accurately depict the magnitude of the event, the painter undertook extensive research, including interviews with survivors, reading newspaper articles, and visits to morgues. These efforts were aimed at conveying the tragedy in the most realistic manner possible. The resulting composition exudes a magnificent quality reminiscent of the Baroque period. Within the painting, the artist captures the final episode of this harrowing adventure, the appearance of another frigate on the horizon. This depiction portrays not only the physical and moral collapse and despair experienced by the survivors, but also evokes a sense of hope for salvation and the overwhelming, almost hysterical joy they experience. In terms of color, the painting predominantly employs dark red and green hues reminiscent of Caravaggio's works. Additionally, it employs a raw realism when portraying the bodies, further emphasizing the artist's commitment to depicting the tragedy in a stark and candid manner. Eugène Delacroix. Eugène Delacroix, 1798–1863, was a renowned French painter of the Romantic art movement during the 19th century. His artistic creations were distinctively characterized by two fundamental elements of Romanticism: imagination and emotion. Delacroix believed that color held greater significance than design and that imagination surpassed knowledge. Influenced by the works of Peter Paul Rubens and the Venetian masters, Delacroix developed a distinctive style characterized by vibrant colors, dynamic brushwork, and a passionate portrayal of subjects. Delacroix's works included a wide range of subjects, including historical events, mythology, literature, and Orientalism. His historical paintings, such as Liberty Leading the People, 1830, which depicts the July Revolution, and the death of Sardanapalus, 1827, exemplify his ability to evoke powerful feelings and convey on canvas dramatic and intense moments. Delacroix's voyages to Morocco left an indelible imprint on his artistic vision as he absorbed the exotic culture of the Arabs, which he skillfully incorporated into various themes and subjects. In addition to his profound impact on the Romantic movement, Delacroix's artistic innovations and techniques played a crucial role in the development of later artistic movements, including Impressionism and Symbolism. His bold use of color and expressive brushwork inspired generations of artists to come. Eugène Delacroix, Moroccan horseman in military action. This particular artwork, created in 1832, can be found at the Fabre Museum in Montpellier. The painting depicts a dynamic and chaotic scene of Moroccan horsemen engaged in military action. Delacroix's brushstrokes and use of vibrant colors bring the scene to life, conveying a sense of movement, turmoil, and the intensity of battle. Upon examining the painting, one can notice the absence of clear outlines and a lack of specific attention to light and shadow. Furthermore, there is no evident educational theme present. Delacroix's choice of subject matter reflects his interest in the Orientalist movement, which romanticized the cultures and traditions of the Middle East and North Africa. The artist's intention was to immerse viewers in an intense scene featuring a magnificent purebred horse positioned proudly on its two legs, while a cavalry charges into battle in the background. Capturing this moment of intensity, the sky is adorned with clouds and painted in shades of yellow and red to depict the setting sun. Eugène Delacroix. The Death of Sardanapalus. This artwork, created in 1827, currently resides in the collection of the Louvre Museum in Paris. This huge composition portrays a dramatic historical event. The painting depicts the tragic story of Sardanapalus, the final ruler of Assyria, who, upon learning that his enemies had overtaken the city, issued a harrowing command. He ordered the execution of his women, slaves, and horses, along with the destruction of his wealth, all to take place before his very eyes. In a final, chilling act, Sardanapalus would set himself on fire and burn alive in the royal bed. While the composition of this artwork possesses some peculiarities, such as the relatively small depiction of the king and a lack of clear connection between the figures in the foreground and background, it remains truly striking. The Death of Sardanapalus is known for its vibrant and intense colors, dynamic brushwork, and emotive depiction of the human form. The overall arrangement gives a sense of theatricality, reminiscent of Baroque paintings, with the forms, postures, and expressions evoking a powerful presence. Surprisingly, despite the brutal nature of the subject matter, viewers are not left with that impression. The combination of naked bodies, opulent objects, and sumptuous fabrics establishes a vibrant spectacle, create a colorful feast and a sort of luxurious still life. Eugene Delacroix. July 28, Liberty Leading the People. This painting was made in 1830 and is housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris. The composition is an iconic representation of the July Revolution that took place in France during the same year and is celebrated as one of Delacroix's most significant masterpieces. The painting captures a historical moment known as the uprising of the Parisian people against the French monarchy. At the forefront of the composition stands a female allegorical figure, often interpreted as Liberty herself, leading the charge with the French flag held high. She symbolizes the spirit of freedom, courage, and the aspiration for political change. The essence of this authentic event is beautifully embodied within the painting. The artwork showcases a diverse group of individuals from different social classes, including workers, students, and soldiers, united in their fight for liberty and equality. Symbolically, the composition emphasizes the unity and solidarity displayed during this period. Delacroix's brushstrokes exude dynamism and energy, capturing the intensity and chaos of the revolutionary event. Predominantly dominating the artwork are the national colors of France, blue, white, and red. These hues not only adorn the flag held high but also extend their presence to various elements within the painting, such as the kneeling figure in front of a female embodiment, and are echoed in the sky, fumes, and garments. The female figure prominently grasping the flag of France serves as a potent symbol for the concept of liberty, thus embodying the spirit of the nation itself. Placed strategically at the center of the composition, she assumes the role of encouraging and guiding the French citizens united in their valiant struggle against the monarchy. July 28, Liberty Leading the People has become an enduring symbol of revolution and a powerful tribute to the resilience and determination of the people to gain their freedom from oppressive regimes. Eugene Delacroix. Scenes from the Massacres of Chaos. This particular artwork, dating back to 1834, currently resides within the renowned Louvre Museum situated in Paris. This impressive painting vividly narrates a significant historical event. During the Greek War of Independence in 1821, the Ottoman Turks invaded Chios and killed thousands of islanders. Delacroix's painting portrays the aftermath of the massacre, highlighting the immense human suffering and devastation caused by the event. The composition showcases a range of scenes, capturing the anguish, despair, and resilience of the victims. The artist employed vivid colors, expressive brushstrokes, and a dramatic composition to evoke strong emotions and convey the horrors of war. Upon observing the foreground of the composition, one can witness men, women, and children sprawled across the ground, some already lifeless, while others bear wounds. Positioned to the left, a man with a stomach injury is accompanied by a woman leaning over his shoulder, showcasing their anguish. To the right, an elderly woman's sorrowful countenance captivates the viewer, as does the presence of a deceased woman holding an infant, who is trying to breastfeed. Towards the rear of the painting, on the right side, an Ottoman Turk forcefully drags a captive. Within the dramatic scene, the devastated landscape and the sea enveloped in somber hues contribute to the overall emotional intensity. The artist has adopted a distinctive approach in portraying historical events. Rather than focusing on epic battles, this masterpiece delves into the aftermath of war, depicting individuals suspended between life and death. Consequently, viewers are compelled to confront the profound tragedy of warfare, evoking deep and poignant emotions. Neoclassicism. Neoclassicism was an artistic and cultural movement that emerged in the mid-18th century and lasted until the early 19th century. It was a reaction against the excesses of the preceding Baroque and Rococo styles, seeking to revive the aesthetic principles and values of classical antiquity, particularly those of ancient Greece and Rome. France became a pivotal core for the most influential painters of the neoclassical era. The French Revolution resulted in the displacement of numerous artists from the royal court, leaving them unemployed, self-exiled, or even worse, executed. Consequently, artists faced significant challenges in France, as creating artworks that could be misinterpreted politically was perilous for their lives. Hence, the recourse to the aesthetic patterns of ancient Greek and Roman art became essential. Neoclassical artists turned to historical events, mythology, and ancient literature for subject matter. These themes were seen as having moral and educational value, aligning with the movement's focus on intellectual and ethical ideals. Neoclassical compositions often displayed a sense of balance and symmetry. The interest on simplicity and order was in stark contrast to the intricate ornamentation of the Rococo style that preceded it. In painting, neoclassicism favored a restrained color palette and avoided excessive decoration. The emphasis was on precise outlines, along with the utilization of bold colors. The focus was on conveying meaning and narrative through the composition. Neoclassicism thrived during the period including the French Revolution and the Napoleonic years. Among the prominent painters of this era were Jacques-Louis David, 1748–1825, and Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, 1780–1867. Jacques-Louis David. Jacques-Louis David, 1748–1825, was a prominent French painter who possessed a unique distinction among painters, as he witnessed firsthand the momentous events spanning from the onset of the Revolution to the eventual downfall of Napoleon. Born in Paris, David initially trained as a painter under the guidance of Joseph-Marie Vienne. He later studied at the Royal Academy of Painting and Sculpture. David's early works were influenced by the Rococo style, but he eventually transitioned towards a more austere and monumental neoclassical aesthetic. David actively aligned himself with the French Revolution, ardently supporting its cause. Notably, one of his renowned creations from this period is the compelling masterpiece known as The Death of Marat, which he painted in 1793. In the year 1797, David's path crossed with that of Napoleon Bonaparte, leading to a significant turning point in his career. From 1799 until 1815, he accepted the esteemed role of Napoleon's official painter, meticulously capturing various aspects of the emperor's life. The essence of the era finds vivid expression within David's artworks. His canvases predominantly revolve around historical themes drawn from the annals of Greek and Roman history. Moreover, these captivating creations served a dual purpose, as they not only conveyed profound lessons but also seamlessly intertwined with the prevailing political climate in France. Jacques-Louis David. The Oath of the Hierarchy. The artwork, created in 1748, currently resides in the renowned Louvre Museum located in Paris. Its inspiration stems from the annals of Roman history. The painting depicts the moment of intense tragedy and sacrifice involving the Herati brothers, who were Roman warriors, and the Curietti brothers from Alba Longa. The two sets of brothers were chosen to engage in a duel to settle a dispute between Rome and Alba. This duel would determine the fate of their respective cities. The artist captures the poignant moment when the three sons solemnly pledge their loyalty while grasping the swords presented by their father. In this portrayal, the father has the role of a paternal leader, exemplifying unwavering commitment to sacrifice his sons for the sake of democracy and their country. David's painting strongly emphasizes the themes of patriotism, sacrifice, and devotion to one's country. It holds great influence and serves as a prime example of the neoclassical style, known for its focus on moral principles, historical narratives, and the precise portrayal of classical elements and arrangements. The composition of the painting presents a modest architectural backdrop adorned with elegant Roman columns, reflecting the influence of neoclassical style. The artist demonstrates a meticulous attention to detail, faithfully recreating ancient designs and patterns within the artwork. Each element within the image is skillfully portrayed with distinct outlines, while the color palette remains restrained, adding a sense of sophistication and balance to the overall visual presentation. Jacques-Louis David. The Death of Marat. The astonishing painting was created in 1793 and is housed in the Royal Museums of Fine Arts in Brussels, Belgium. This powerful artwork explores a real-life occurrence, the assassination of Jean-Paul Marat, a prominent revolutionary figure. At the time, Marat suffered from a debilitating skin disease, compelling him to spend frequent moments immersed in a bath infused with medicinal water. Tragically, on July 13, 1793, his life was cut short by the hand of his girlfriend, Charlotte Corday. Corday cleverly approached Marat, offering him a document to sign. Seizing the moment, she took advantage of his vulnerable position, fatally striking him with a knife. Interestingly, the painter, David, had visited Marat the day before the murder and had witnessed him diligently working within a makeshift wooden cabinet situated by the bathtub. Given the urgency surrounding the event, David was promptly summoned by the authorities to produce a visual representation of the crime shortly after its occurrence. The resulting artwork adopts a somber and impartial tone, akin to that of a police report. The composition of the painting presents a contrasting play of light and dark, creating a neutral atmosphere of depth. The deceased figure is depicted as an illuminated sculpture against a backdrop of white sheets, symbolizing death. The painting presents a scene that is both dramatic and austere, reminiscent of Michelangelo's Peter and other artworks depicting the crucifixion of Christ. This deliberate association amplifies the emotional impact of the painting, as it portrays Marat as a heroic martyr, emphasizing the tragedy of his untimely death. Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres. Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, 1780–1867, was an acclaimed French painter known for his contributions to neoclassical art. He specialized in creating captivating historical scenes and exquisite portraits. Ingres embarked on his artistic journey by attending the Royal Academy of Painting, Sculpture, and Architecture in Toulouse. Seeking further artistic growth, the talented artist made his way to Paris and joined the School of Fine Arts. It was here that he had the invaluable opportunity to receive painting lessons from the renowned neoclassical painter, Jacques-Louis. This influential encounter greatly shaped Ingres' artistic style and approach. In the year 1820, Ingres went to Florence, where he studied the art of Renaissance. His time spent in Florence introduced him to the captivating works of Italian painters, particularly leaving a profound impact on him were the masterpieces created by Raphael. This influence is unmistakably evident in Ingres' own works, showcasing the unmistakable essence of Italian artistry in his creations. Known for his meticulous attention to detail and exquisite drawing, the artist became renowned for his ability to capture the human form with remarkable precision and grace. Ingres' expertise in portraiture was unparalleled, and excelled in creating historical and mythological scenes that exuded a sense of grandeur and an idealized sense of beauty. Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres. The Valpinson Bather. The renowned painting, created in 1808, currently housed in the Louvre Museum in Paris. It is considered one of Ingres' masterpieces. The painting depicts a solitary female figure standing in a Turkish bath, with her back turned towards the viewer. The woman is portrayed in a sensuous and idealized manner, showcasing Ingres' artistry with the female form and his meticulous attention to detail. In order to convey an air of exoticism from the East, various elements such as the turban and the slippers are incorporated into the composition. The Orientalist themes were popular during the 19th century. The painting captivates viewers with its soft design, unwavering precision, and its flawless execution. The nude's striking tonalities create an illusion of a smooth porcelain surface, leaving a lasting impression. The artist's knowledge of anatomy is evident in the curves and subtle musculature of the figure. The painting also highlights Ingres' skillful use of light and shadow to create a sense of depth and three-dimensionality. The artist's adept use of form and space, evident in the expressive curvature, had a significant influence on prominent figures of modern art, including Picasso and Matisse.